All right, guys, today's episode is special. We've got someone who literally built a 200 crore company without funding, without running ads, just smart systems and pure hustle. Founder of Easyleadz, host of the podcast Mad Overgrowth. Mr. Nitin Bajaj is here with us, and I'm genuinely excited because this isn't going to be just another story. We're going to get into real stuff, what worked, what did not, and how he had built what he had built today. Sir, over to you.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot, guys. I really, thank you for inviting me over and so crazy work that IMA is doing. At such a young age, what you guys are achieving, how you're trying to do this, bridging the gap between entrepreneurs and people who have been there and done that. That's crazy. So I feel nostalgic because in my college days, I used to do the same hustle, same stuff. So it's good to meet you guys.
So let's start with the first question of the podcast. So I would like to go first. So from Sponsify Me and Get My Looks to Easy Leads, what lit the spark? Before Easy Leads, you dabbled in very different industries, event sponsorship and on-demand beauty. What drew you into entrepreneurship in the first place? And how did these early ventures shape your mindset?
Sure. So entrepreneurship mindset was always been there. I come from a very small town, Karnal in Haryana, and I used to create so much of experiments when I was, studying in school. I sort of like have my mini Dexter lab where I used to used to create some experiments, create inverters, create clap kind of equipment. So I used to play around all of these electronic gadgets, and I always had this deep connection of building something from ground up. So the reason, so I went to IIT Delhi. The only reason I went to IIT Delhi was because I wanted to do something of my own, and I saw that there is a huge opportunity because all these good entrepreneurs were coming out of IIT Delhi. So I went there, started my first company called as Get My Looks. It was more around what Urban Clap is doing these days, but we had to shut it off for different reasons. We started another company called as Sponsify Me. The idea was even at IIT Delhi, I used to face this problem of not having sponsors. So I thought, why not create a marketplace where on one side we have these sponsors, on the other side we have these brands, and we can marry them together on the platform. But it was becoming more of a marketing company, which I didn't want it. But one fine day, me and my co-founder, we guys were looking for contact numbers because we wanted to reach out to more brands to invite them on our portal, Sponsify Me. The intention was not to create the third company, but we just wanted to have contact data. So that's why we created this app. We posted it in a startup group. We got almost 1,000 users in just 3 5 days. We acquired almost 3.5 lakh contacts. That is how Easy Leads became, the birth of the Easy Leads happened. The intention was not there. It happened by accident because we wanted to solve our own problem of not having contact data for our own company. That is how Easy Leads came into picture. We thought this is something which is even bigger problem because everybody needs contact data. Everybody wants to do sales. So that's how the journey of Easy Leads began.
Thank you for telling that, sir. That was amazing. So in 2016, it was just you and Chrome Icon. What did success mean back then? With no external funding or team, just the Mr. E extension. How did you start building?
So Mystery happened in 2020 actually. Easy Leads was just the name that we started with, but we had multiple products in Easy Leads from 2016 to 2019. Almost 3 years, we still didn't had any success. Though we thought that Easy Leads will become a bigger brand or bigger company, but all of our products were either non-scalable or too early for the Indian market. We even launched an AI bot which could automate your entire sales. The kind of products that you see in the market coming in today in this age, we were launching those kind of products in 2016. But because the market was not ready for it, or the adoption was not there, or AI word was not that crazy, what ChatGPT has done today, we were always failing. So at one fine day again, the accidental product happened because we created so many of automated products that it was too much for the Indian market. Even we got into Y Combinator in the final round, and the feedback that we got was that your product is too early. Either come to US, build it for the US market because that's a more matured market, or do it for the India but trim it down. We thought we want to do something for Indian market because we felt there is a huge scope compared to going to West and doing it for the US market. That is why we decided to launch a Chrome extension in December 2019, almost the end of the year or beginning of the 2020. In January, the first version came out. From there, the real success or journey has happened for Easyleadz. We launched the extension. Every month, we doubled our revenue. So if we are doing 1 lakh in January, we did 3 lakh in February, we did 7 lakh in March, we did 14 lakh in April. So that is how the journey happened. That's what we obviously felt that this is what you call as the real growth or product market fit.
So, like following up on that part only, so like what was the major difference between Mr. E extension and like the Easy Leads?
Sure. Um, so Mr. E is very simplistic, non-friction product. At the end of the day, what people were looking for is contact numbers. Even if we have this huge suite of solutions, jahan pe there are multiple things that you can do, people were getting confused that they could launch campaign also, they can find people also, they can search companies also, they can search funding information also. So it was too much for one user or one company to figure out how to do it. So we trimmed down to one single problem that we wanted to solve, and that was giving contact number.
Easily.
So that was a major differentiation, that we trimmed down all the unnecessary parts, unnecessary features, made it a very simple to use product, very frictionless, that you just go to LinkedIn, and people were always, anyways, going to LinkedIn to find people. That was the first thing that you do. You go to LinkedIn, you want to find CEO of XYZ company, you will find that person on LinkedIn. So we're already doing the research part on LinkedIn. Now the next thing is you want to contact that person. So either you DM them, send them a connection request, or you might need a contact number too. That's the
Right.
main problem that we addressed. Very simple solution, one Chrome extension that can just give you contact number. We will be known for only one thing, which is contact number, and we will remove other things that are going to confuse people. I think that was a major turning point when we realized we should solve one problem and focus only on one problem.
So, sir, you scale Easy Leads to 7 crore revenue in just 18 months without marketing spend or external funding of any sort. What were the exact growth hacks or the strategies you used? And what channels or framework worked for you that you acquired your first 100 users? Although you told us like you put it in that college startup group and it boomed. Like, but after that, scaling it, how did you acquire the rest?
Sure. So the startup group part was in 2016, not 2020. That was for a very different product that we launched in Easyleadz umbrella, but in 2016. Now coming back to Mystery Extension, how we scale that. So I have always been writing on LinkedIn for a while now. I've almost like 60K followers on LinkedIn. A very good community where I used to write so much around sales and marketing. So from 2016 to 2019, I was constantly writing stuff on LinkedIn. And so I utilized that community. I wrote on LinkedIn that we released this Chrome extension. It can give you contact data. Now, all the professionals are already there on LinkedIn, which are our core users. So we launched the product on Mystery on LinkedIn, got almost 50 to 60 people signing up every day through just LinkedIn and word of mouth. The biggest advantage was that it was a very big pain problem. Now, all the virality we talk about, all the growth hacks that we talk about will never happen if the core problem is not too acute to be solved. मतलब अगर आपको सर दर्द नहीं हो रहा और आपको मैं बोलूं कि गोली खा ले, मेडिसिन सर दर्द की ले ले, you will not really bother about it. But if you're getting a headache and someone, even if it's at a remote distance, say, I have this medicine that can cure your headache, you will do extra things to go to that person to find that medicine because it is an acute pain point for you to solve. Now, compare it with supplements, multivitamins. Sometimes you eat it, sometimes you don't eat it because it is not something which is life threatening. It is not something that is going to change your life instantly in a day. So you don't really worry about it. So the pain problem for any sales and marketing person is getting the contact number, which is a huge problem for a day-to-day person. So if you solve and attack a huge problem, automatically the word of mouth will be very strong, and we were the first one in India doing this. So the gap was also there. Like, first is the problem is huge. Total addressable market is huge because every company needs contact data to sell. So the market size is also huge. Then the problem solving solution was also very instantly activated. Like, you just install Chrome extension, you get the number, there is no demo, there is no friction. You don't have to attach your credit card, you don't have to pay anything, so you get a 5 free contact as a freemium. So everything was frictionless in a way, or automatically magically happened over the last few years of our experience in grilling, that one fine day it just went boom because we realized these are the things that we have to at least do, because people are looking for contact number, which is a huge problem. The market size is huge. We will remove anything and everything that will create friction in the entire process, and we did that. So automatically, if for example you guys are 5 or 6 people now, let's say, Piyusha got this free tool that gives you 5 contact number. Automatically, Piyusha use these 5 contacts and realizes that the tool works great. What the next thing that Piyusha will do? She will tell Perv that ये कॉन्टैक्ट नंबर 2 ले ले, इससे ना हमको जो रीच आउट करना होता है इस सीईओस को इनवाइट करने के लिए, वो बहुत प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो जाएगी। तो मुझे कुछ करना नहीं है, मुझे बस पीयूषा को बताना था। वही हमने किया। So one person in the company brought in 3 to 4 people from the same company because everybody felt the need and the problem is huge. And automatically the spiral effect happened. उसके बाद बहुत सारी हमने और चीज की. We went and attacked SEO, search engine optimization. We created almost 2 to 3,000 pages on and indexed them on Google. For example, let's say you guys are doing this podcast and you want to invite CEO of Zomato to your podcast. What you will do is you will either do a search on Google or you will do a search on LinkedIn. Let's say you do a search on Google, CEO Zomato. What you're going to write is email ID or contact number. That will be your intent query because you're looking for contact number or email ID. What we did is we used that framework in mind and created almost 1,000 pages automatically every day and started adding them on LinkedIn. So we are very, very good in technology. And this is what has given us so much of, I would say, leverage ahead of others. Now we already have this contact number. जिसका कॉन्टैक्ट नंबर हमारे पास आता जा रहा था उसका हम पेज बनाते जा रहे थे और उसको गूगल पे लिस्ट करते जा रहे थे। तो और जिन लोगों को उनका कॉन्टैक्ट नंबर चाहिए था, they were searching, they will see our page appearing in top, they will click, from there we will get the installation of the Chrome extension. अब उसने अगर इंस्टॉल किया तो वो अपनी कंपनी में 4 लोगों को बताएगा, उन 4 में इंस्टॉल करने के बाद वो और 4 को बताएंगे। So this is how we created a spiral growth hack loop which gave us almost now 7 lakh users in the last 4 years.
So those were some great hacks and strategies that you used, and you mainly talked about the pain points for sales teams nowadays. So my main question was that are there any unique buying behaviors or conditions that the Indian market mainly shows, like mainly sales specific, and how easily it's built to solve them specifically?
Sure. In India, we need everything for free by default. We need everything for free, and even if I want it for free, I will still waste your time. This is the major phenomena. Like, we wake up in the morning and we get ready-made meals served to us in a platter. So हमें काम करने की आदत बचपन से ही नहीं है। मतलब शुरू से या तो हमारे लिए मम्मी खाना बना देती थी, बड़े हो गए तो हमने शायद बाहर निकल के मेड रख ली, उन्होंने खाना बना दिया हमारे लिए। तो खुद का काम करने की आदत बहुत कम होती है हमारे यहाँ पे लोगों को। सो डू इट योरसेल्फ का कॉन्सेप्ट ना इंडिया में काम नहीं करता बहुत ज्यादा। इन वेस्ट, do it yourself culture is very, very prevalent. As in, for example, if I gave you a software access and tell you that in the software you can do these many things. You will still want someone to come to your Hangouts call and help you and guide you how to do it, because you have not been trained mentally to do these things yourself. Versus in US, the adoption of complex softwares is very high because people are ingrained or trained from childhood to do things on their own and figure out things on their own, because having someone do it for them is costly. तो उनको शुरू से आदत है कि फिगर आउट खुद से कैसे करना है, इसीलिए ना इंट्यूटिवनेस ऑलवेज वर्क्स वेरी वेरी वेल इन यूएस. इन इंडिया इट्स बिट डिफिकल्ट. इसीलिए आप देखोगे गूगल पे इज ऑलवेज leading because the UI UX of Google Pay is still much better compared to phone pay, or perhaps at least I feel that, because usme na it's very easy steps or frictionless hai. Phone pay you might have to go and do 2-3 steps to do the barcode scanning, but Google Pay right after you open you have the first option as barcode scanning, because that's the first problem they attacked. So Indian market is too much price sensitive, a less do it yourself culture, very much hand holding, very much discount seeking phenomena, because हमें धनिया हमेशा फ्री चाहिए सब्जी के साथ. और आप वो चीज फिनोमिना अभी भी देख रहे हो, इवन ऑन ब्लिंकिट दे गिव यू धनिया फ्री, बिकॉज दे नो दैट we always relate to this consciousness or subconsciousness treatment of we getting or our moms getting धनिया free from childhood. तो ये ना कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स आती हैं. इसीलिए आप देखोगे most of the SaaS companies are always grown when they are focused on US market or more developed markets. Even Freshworks or Zoho, major chunk of their revenue comes from US market, not Indian market. They are building in India but targeting US, because the revenue and money is in US or developed markets or mature markets. In India is too complicated to make money.
So moving ahead, like Easyleadz was well ahead of its time. So my question is that which lesser known industry or niche do you believe will take off, like just say by 2030? And to follow up on that, and this is the question we try to ask in each of our podcasts. So what would be your advice to new founders who can prepare for that opportunity and thus crack that aim and basically make it big?
Sure. I think intelligence is going to change the way we do things. I'll give you a very good example of that. And this is the product that we launched in 2016, by the way. We killed it because that was too early. Now we have realized, due to GPTs, all of these OpenAIs, all of these DeepSeeks, phenomena, it's very easy to bring that product back. And that's what we have done. And this time the adoption is very crazy. One of the example is, let's say on your website, let's say, I'll just, without taking the name of the company, I'll just give you an example, the Flow. There is a travel company, okay? You go and you book your flight tickets. So there is a travel company, very known, very popular. Their major problem was, till today, until we solved it today, that on their website, so many of people go and sign up. So many of people go and create an account or inquire them that I need to buy something. And they also have a corporate division where all of these companies also sign up, because their employees of these companies want a travel partner, right? So there are two arms. One is direct, as in you go and you book your tickets or book your flights, book your hotels, blah, blah. And then there is a corporate division where you, let's say, represent a company and you want to partner with that company. I'm sorry, I just spilled the name a little bit, but you should beep it, right? So the major problem of that company is they get almost 5,000 inquiries every day. And in the inquiries, they were getting the email IDs. Like, I'll just put my email ID. I'll tell that I want to know more about your offerings. Now, this company is not able to figure out who these 5,000 people are. Like, they just have the email ID. They don't know anything else about that organization, about that person. Like how much, what's the job title? Is that person having good authority? Or let's say their main qualification criteria was that I'll only be touching companies that have 200 plus employee size, right? So they have certain criteria that they want to ensure is fulfilled before that particular organization go ahead and their sales team, talk to them, which they were not able to figure out. And all of these parameters are always very rudimentary. For example, अभी मैंने आपको बोला कि यार 200 से 500 साइज होना इस कंपनी का तो मैं टारगेट करूंगा, बट अगर 198 हो तो क्या होगा? 198 होते तो आप उसको हटा दोगे ना, बट 2 से ही तो कम हुआ, वो उससे कोई ज्यादा इम्पैक्ट थोड़ी आया. What is 198 and 200, right? It is same thing, but because you have put these rudimentary filters, you are missing out on so many of opportunities which are very, very closely there, right? Or not fitting, but fitting in a way. So we applied our agent. We gave them our agentic AI, which we call as Dexter agent. What it does is, it will first of all find everything around that person. कि उसका जॉब टाइटल क्या है, वो कौन सी कंपनी में काम करता है. Am I still audible? Because you guys are still hanged.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're
You're
audible.
You are
audible.
audible.
Yes.
All right. So what our Dexter agent does is, all right, what our Dexter agent do is, it will find out everything around that person first. कि ये जो बंदा जिसने आपको कांटेक्ट किया, ये बंदा कौन है, इसका सोशल प्रोफाइल क्या क्या है, इसकी डेजिग्नेशन क्या है, इसका समरी क्या है, उसका पास्ट एक्सपीरियंस क्या है, कितने साल उसने पुरानी कंपनीज में काम किया है, in the organization that he's currently working, what's the industry, what's the employee size, what's the headquarter location. So it will find everything around that, and it will use your existing company information कि अच्छा मैं ट्रैवल एजेंसी चलाता हूँ, मेरा ट्रैवल पोर्टल है, I want to target these and these companies, are they fit or not. It will combine everything, give it a score कि out of 100 how much is the score of relevancy, is it a fit to qualify, तो उसको वो क्वालिफाई कर देगा. तो जो काम उनके 20 बंदों की टीम करती थी दिन में बैठ के, it has now brought down to 0. So it has almost eliminated 20 people doing that excessive amount of manual work with just one agent, one line of code that they have to implement. So I think if people who are listening to this, they have to take down some lesson. Their focus should be how to adopt intelligence around the businesses around their life.
Yes, sir. So, sir, as a founder and a startup consultant, what's one mistake you see too often? Like, what's the pattern you notice in early stage startup, especially in SaaS or tech based, that slows them down?
Sure. Most mistake people do is chase growth in the beginning. You can always expand from what you're doing, create. It is always easy to focus and channelize all your energy in growing for that one particular problem and being known for that one problem. In India, we are known for contact numbers. A lot of people come to us and say, why don't you get into email IDs? Do this, do that. We always say no, that you can go and there are many other tools that do email IDs. For us, email IDs will always be complementary assets. We don't focus on email IDs. We just give it away for free because we want to be known for one single source of giving 100% accurate contact numbers. So until and as you're obsessed about one particular problem, it's a big mistake of doing so many of things at one time. So trim down all the features. Don't chase growth in the beginning. Chase the problem. Be obsessed about what people are looking, what people really want from you, and just try and do that every day, every day.
That was an amazing answer, sir. You have backed Unikon.ai and the School of SDR. What makes a pitch irresistible? Like, what's the most unconventional pitch you have ever received as an angel investor? And did you fund it? If not, what would have made you said yes?
Okay, so genuinely speaking, it took me 2 minutes to say yes to Unicon and literally 2 minutes to say yes to School of SDR. And I'll tell you why. With School of SDR, the founder of that particular company is someone who I have been looking at in LinkedIn. So he used to write so many of good things around sales and marketing. So I knew that this guy is trying to solve and trying to do something around sales. So that is the only thing I looked at because I knew that person I'm not professionally friend with them. I'm not personally friend with them. I just knew that they're doing something good, and he's always very open about writing things that he believes in on LinkedIn. And when he reached out to me, he obviously looked at that Nitin is someone who is building Easyleadz, and that is something which is into sales and marketing. So it's a good complementary asset. So that may be the intent of him for reaching out to me. And when I looked at, I anyways knew that person, that, Rahul is there and he is doing good things in the community. So I just instantly said yes. I didn't really bothered about what's the valuation. I didn't looked at the numbers, nothing. So my principle of investing is believe in the person instead of believing in the idea. And I mean, it's almost like, I think, 8 to 9 months. I didn't really know what's the state of the company, even if they have grew. मुझे कुछ आइडिया नहीं है कि उन्होंने क्या किया है, कितना रेवेन्यू कमाया है, अभी क्या हुआ है. आई हैव नो अपडेट्स, नो आइडिया. ओनली थिंग आई न्यू इज कि वो लिंक्डइन पे कुछ कुछ डालते हैं कि कुछ कुछ कर रहे हैं, एंड दैट इज समथिंग दैट कीप्स मी हैप्पी. दैट्स ऑल. When it comes to Unikon, obviously Akash Anand is someone who is already known in the community. He has taken an exit of almost 500 crores in Bella Vita. तो उनकी पुरानी कंपनी बेला विटा है, सब लोग जानते हैं. ऑब्वियसली फाउंडर की पेडिग्री तो पता ही है ना कि वो बहुत अच्छी है. लाइक आकाश इज नोन इन द कम्युनिटी. आकाश हैज बीन फॉलोड बाय लॉट ऑफ गुड फाउंडर्स. तो फाउंडर की पेडिग्री तो वैसी अच्छी है, उसमें कुछ सोचना नहीं है. बट when I met him, he told me he's doing this Unikon.ai idea. 6 months prior to launching my first mystery product, जो हमने 2020 में लॉन्च किया, उससे 6 महीने पहले एक्चुअली में मैंने सेम आइडिया लॉन्च किया था बाय द नेम ऑफ इंस्टा कनेक्ट. So because I already had this deep desire of doing the same thing myself, when Akash told me that he's trying to do this, it was an instant hit कि ठीक है, किसी को सॉल्व करनी चाहिए ये प्रॉब्लम. और मैं करना चाह रहा था, मैं कर नहीं पाया उस टाइम पे बिकॉज मेरे पास पैसे नहीं थे. Now I have money. I have someone who is most respected founder in the community, who is Akash. So why not do this? So that's the reason it took me 2 minutes to say yes. So this is how I do the investing. I don't look at pitches from the point of कि कितनी valuation होनी चाहिए, कितना revenue कर रहे हैं. No, I'll only look at the founder.
So, as we have gone through your initiatives, we saw that Mad Over Growth is growing fast. What made you start it, and what's the impact has been of that? How has the podcast helped shape Easy Leads or your personal brand? Who has been your favorite guest so far, and why?
Sure. So reason of doing this was, A, I'm working in my hometown, Karnal, right? So I could not really get meet so many good people. Obviously, when you work remotely, you don't go to office, you don't see many faces. So I thought this could be a getaway for me to meet good people. That was one of the reason. And I've been writing around sales and marketing, doing this small on and off podcast on LinkedIn live sessions, not properly in a studio, but LinkedIn पे मैं काफी time से कुछ ना कुछ करता रहता था, because I like to talk to people, and I'm usually a very curious mind, and I try and ask what I feel like asking. So that was the intent. Second thing that helped me is, generally speaking, having a name of IIT Delhi always helps you, because when you reach out to a guest and tell them you're from IIT Delhi, it a little bit gives you an advantage. Let's not say it doesn't help. It definitely helps, because most of these people are from good colleges, and वो थोड़ा देखते ही हैं कि यार ये भी आईटी से, हम भी आईआईटी दिल्ली से पढ़े हैं या कहीं और आईटी से पढ़े हैं, तो must be something there. I'm not saying that should be the only thing that helps you, but at least 10-15% का आपको advantage मिल जाता है. Then one of the biggest advantages that I had was having access to contact numbers of all these people. मतलब दुनिया हमसे contact number लेती है, मेरे पास तो सबके हैं. So I just thought कि ठीक है यार, why not use this advantage that we have? So I just reached out to few people and I told them that I have this podcast. Initially I wanted to only invite founders and CEO. So first 100 episodes that we did were founders and CEOs only. In the 1 year, we released 100 episodes. I think we touched around 30,000 subscribers in 1 year. And in the last 6 months, we have done almost 100K. तो अभी 96,000 के आसपास हुए हैं. तो it's like 300%, 200% growth in the last 6 months. Uh, First 100 episodes में what I learned is that the vision is super important. It is not how you do things every day. It is how you visualize where you want to be. That's super important. Like initially, when I used to look at what Easyleadz is doing, I always looked at from a very operational mindset. We need to grow 10%, we need to grow 15% next year or next. But when I start, I think what they did differently is how they look at distribution and how they visualize where they want to be and take steps backwards. Uh, for example, I just give you an example of the Dexter agent that we launched. One of the reasons why most companies go faster is when they plug into the business operations of a company. For example, आप कभी किसी से कोई शैम्पू खरीदो तो जरूरी नहीं है कि आप उसी सेम कंपनी का शैम्पू खरीदो until unless आपको कोई डॉक्टर रिकमेंड कर दे कि यार आपकी स्किन आपके हेयर पे ही शैम्पू चलेगा. तो क्या हो गया कि वो लाइफ का पार्ट बन गया. आप उसको छोड़ नहीं सकते बिकॉज समवन हैज रिकमेंडेड, समवन हैज सब्सक्राइब्ड इट टू यू, और वो रिकरिंग हो गया. तो बिजनेसेस में भी क्या होता है ना, कुछ ऐसे होते हैं जो रिकरिंग होते हैं. We felt that how can we create something that can become a life of a process of a company. मतलब अगर आपने एक बार इंप्लीमेंट किया, इट बिकम्स वेरी हार्ड फॉर यू टू गेट रिड ऑफ इट. इजी लीड्स में क्या है, आपने टूल खरीदा, आपने मान लीजिए 1,000 लोगों का नंबर निकाला, तो हो सकता है आपको 3 महीने अगले जरूरत ना हो क्योंकि आपकी सेल बन गई. अब आपको और लोगों को नहीं रीच आउट करना, तो आप हो सकता है ना दो 3 महीने टूल. जस्ट एन एग्जाम्पल. एंड दैट ऑब्वियसली creates some problems when it comes to retention. But the agent is a very different thing because it is integrated directly in your CRM. अब आपके डेली की 4,000 लीड आ रही है तो वो मेरा प्रोसेस तो चलता ही रहेगा ना. मुझे थोड़ी कुछ मैनुअल काम करना है या किसी को कोई नंबर, वो तो बंद हो ही नहीं सकता. द मोर यू एज अ कंपनी इज इन्वेस्टिंग इन मार्केटिंग, द मोर लीड्स यू आर गेटिंग इन योर CRM, द मोर माई कंजम्पशन इज देयर फॉर Dexter agent. So that became a part of the business process. So I think these are few of the things we learned, how to look at problem on a bigger scale, a bigger vision. Rather than 10% growth, how can you think of something which can triplize it from that angle? वो बहुत अच्छी चीज लगी. And few of the notable guests, I think one of them was Akash Anand, Unikon.ai, Bella Vita. His insights around D2C crazy. His insights around how to do marketing and advertising is amazing. The other one is HCL founder. उनको president of India से भी award मिला है. उनकी insights, मतलब वो ये मोदी के साथ ऐसी कैजुअली बैठे हुए हैं और उनके साथ पॉलिसी मेकिंग में बैठे हुए हैं और इन्वॉल्व हैं, और एक मैं हूँ उनके सामने बैठा हूँ और मैं उनसे सवाल पूछ रहा हूँ. तो वो जो हम्बलनेस दिखाता है, 3.5 लाख करोड़ की आप कंपनी चला रहे हो, उसके बाद भी आप आई थिंक दैट इज समथिंग दैट आई लर्न फ्रॉम पीपल लाइक दैट. जितने बड़े लोग हो जाते हैं ना, उतना मेरे को हम्बलनेस ज्यादा दिखती है उनमें. दैट इज व्हाट आई फेल्ट. तो आई थिंक दैट taught me how to stay calm, stay humble, and try to do something meaningful for the community.
That was
Yeah. Like,
inspiring and great approach you follow. I wanted to ask, how do you navigate self-doubt or fear after a major setback? Are there any personal rituals, routine, or mindset that help you bounce back stronger?
ये रोज होता है. पहली बात तो every day you feel like crap, every day you feel like king when you are building something of your own. And it is like it's totally ingrained how we, क्योंकि कोई ना आपको पोक करता है कभी ना कभी. सुबह उठे, आपने ट्विटर पे कुछ देख लिया, उससे आप ट्रिगर हो गए कि अरे शिट यार, मेरी लाइफ में तो कुछ भी नहीं हो रहा. फिर आप रात तक ईमेल आती है आपको कि ये गेस्ट कंफर्म हो गया, तो आप खुश हो जाते हो कि ओ फक आई एम द किंग, so you go through these cycles. How it has helped me, or how I motivate myself, is I know for a fact one thing and only one thing will make you lucky is doing actions. There's no luck. If you keep doing actions, one of that action you don't even know behind the scenes will put you into a different league. Examples, we so many of shots. The reason why we grew from 30,000 to just 100K almost in just last 6 months is because we knew that by chasing trends, we will double down and triple down on growth. So we used AI in that. So many of complexity, मतलब उस पे जाऊंगा तो 2 घंटे और निकल जाएंगे, पर हमें पता था कि यार हम अगर ट्रेंड्स को चेज करेंगे ना और शॉर्ट्स ज्यादा बनाएंगे तो कोई ना कोई तो वायरल होगा. वी अंडरस्टूड कि देखिए अभी 2 बनाते हो, 5 बनाने शुरू कर दो, 5 बनाते हो 10 बनाने शुरू कर दो, तब मूवी पुट आउट 10 में से एक वायरल होगा ना, तो आप 5 दिन में 10 बनाओगे. मैं बोल रहा हूँ 10 को एक दिन में बना दो. सो नाउ एवरी डे यू हैव मोर चांस ऑफ गेट गोइंग वायरल. So you create luck by doing actions. It's the only thing I feel keeps anyone motivated. Most of the people don't take actions. मुझे पतला होना है बट मैं एक्शन लूंगा. तो कैसे होगे भाई? तो होगे ना. आप सोचते रहोगे 2 दिन और 3 दिन और, you will never do that. So only thing I feel is take action. Eventually you will see कुछ ना कुछ तो हो रहा है और आपको लगेगा उस टाइम पे वो लक है. वो लक नहीं है. आपने बैकएंड बहुत सारी चीजें की थी, कहीं ना कहीं कुछ ना कुछ ट्रिगर हुआ जिसके कंपाउंड इफेक्ट आपको दिखे नहीं, बट वो उसी एक्शन की वजह से हुए. बट इवेंचुअली इट विल हैपन.
So, first of all, we are also humbled that you came onto our podcast. So, the last bit, we just want to know your unfiltered side. So, we'd like to start with the short rapid fire round. If you're comfortable with that, you can answer. So, one book or podcast that deeply shaped your mindset.
One book or
Book
podcast?
or podcast, yeah.
Okay. I think one podcast would be Akash Anand. As I said, I felt
Yeah.
the way he tells story is something which is very crazy. I mean, the one that I did with him. One book is The Alchemist. I think what it taught me is you are here for a purpose, and whoever you are meeting is something that is aligned by some sort of bigger power that is trying to push you through that purpose that you're trying to achieve. तो वो मुझे चीज बहुत अच्छी लगी, वो फिलोसफी बहुत अच्छी लगी. सो पॉडकास्ट इज आकाश आनंद that I did with him, and book is The Alchemist.
Alchemist. Okay. So the next question, one guest you dream of having on Mad Work Growth.
दिलजीत दोसांझ, वो चाहिए यार.
Oh,
मैं मैनिफेस्ट कर रहा हूँ, इसलिए मैं पूछ रहा हूँ सबको कि भाई दिलजीत दोसांझ आना है बस पॉडकास्ट पे. आई थिंक मेरे को
great.
पंजाबी बोलनी आती है, मैं पंजाबी में बात करना चाहूंगा
Mm,
दिलजीत के साथ उस वीडियो में.
nice. Good aspiration, sir. So, the next question, one growth hack you regret ever trying.
आई डोंट रिग्रेट
Yeah.
जेन्युइनली, बिकॉज अगर वो किया ना होता तो लगता ना कि ये नहीं चलता, अदरवाइज तो फिर
Mm,
आपको क्या पता. सो आई डोंट रिग्रेट दैट. आई थिंक इट्स फाइन टू टेक एक्सपेरिमेंट्स टू फेल. मेरे को शर्म नहीं आती फेल. सो मेनी प्रोडक्ट्स इवन टुडे वी लॉन्च्ड. आज भी मेरे वीडियोस जाके देखोगे, कुछ कुछ वीडियोस में 1,000 व्यूज हैं इवन आफ्टर हैव 1 लाख सब्सक्राइबर्स. तो क्या हो गया यार,
mhm.
करेंगे तो पता लगेगा ना. इट्स सो आई डोंट रिग्रेट
Okay.
एनीथिंग. या
Okay. So, next is one business idea that you hope someone else builds so you can use it.
I genuinely want to do what Unikon.ai is doing. They have shut down now. The same idea I still want someone to solve, because I feel the way we connect with people is still broken. But मुझे आज 500 फाउंडर्स के साथ बात करना है जो कि शायद इंटरेस्टेड हैं जो मैं बना रहा हूँ. But I can't do that. I can't just do that with the press of a button. I really want someone, maybe in the future, but I hope someone does that, solve that problem.
Okay. Okay. So, like, next question is one under 30 Indian founder you'd bet your life savings on while investing.
One, which kind of founder?
Under 30, like
Under
below
30.
30 years of
Okay.
age. Yeah.
Okay. Got it. I'm not sure if Nikhil Kamath is under 30. I think he's 40, right?
Yeah, he is under 40, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, if he would have been under 30, I would have put my life savings. But if not, then it's hard to say. I don't know. I'm genuinely not sure about who I can put my life savings. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so the next one is one underrated B2B or SaaS-based niche in India with rupees 100 crore plus potential that you might think of.
Hmm. I think if you could solve the problem using AI of skincare, it's a good potential. Still, a lot of people create product, but nobody gives a framework on how to apply, how to change. You have this 8 a.m. p.m. routine that you have to follow these and these steps, these and these serums. So if you could create a product that can solve what to apply, when to apply, how much to apply using AI, using facial recognition, it's very easy to do that. I think that would be a 100 crore problem. Yeah.
Okay, so the last question of the rapid fire. One thing you'd do differently if you'd have started again today.
I would have focused on, first of all, having some money in the bank, because that delays your process. We were literally broken. We didn't even have money to eat. I used to waste my time going to weddings to have my one meal of the day. I think that was something, although it's very, very fascinating now I remember that, but I think that delays your approach, because when you were desperate, you do stupid shit. The reason I'm able to calmly decide what I want to do in the podcast is only because I have money. अगर मेरे पास पैसे ना होते तो मैं नहीं कर पाता वो सब चीजें. Because now I'm calm, I have money, I can invest in the right thing, I can even wait, even if it is not working, let's say, I can still wait for a few days, because that's not something that is commercially giving me any advantage. So I think having some money, some life savings, is something that I would change before doing anything.
Now, moving forward to our last question, I wanted to ask what's one thing you wish podcast hosts would ask you, but they never actually do?
Hmm. Very difficult. I don't know which part of my life I would really want. Sometimes sometimes you appear like cringe if you reveal too much of your life. So I don't know. I genuinely don't know but I'm very open book. Like if you would have asked me anything, even if my personal life, I'm still very open. I just say stupid shit on my podcast if someone is asking me.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, Nitin
Yeah.
sir, for joining us today and sharing not just the wins, but the hard-earned wisdom behind them. From
Mhm.
building Mr. E to making Easy Leads, a 200 crore powerhouse without ads or funding. Your story is a masterclass in a smart hustle. To everyone listening, if you found value in today's episode, and I know you did, don't forget to share it with someone who's building, dreaming, or just needs that spark. Until next time, keep growing, keep experimenting, and stay mad over growth. Thank you, sir.